Hey, welcome back to the shop. Recently, I was involved in a discussion with a group of fellow RC enthusiasts um, on whether which way to go uh, for a beginning modeler or whatever you want to call them. Somebody wants to get into this hobby. A lot of people were saying ready to run or RTR is the way to go. And personally, to me, I see it the other way. I think a kit is the best way to go, especially for a younger person, because they can learn the mechanics of everything that happens and the who, the what's and the whys and the wherefores. Um, then when it got into, kits are not so easy. And I'm here to prove you wrong. I'm going to show you right now what is probably the absolute easiest kit to ever take on, and the price mark on this kit is ridiculously cheap. It's a great starter place for everybody. So let's take a look. Let's say you're brand new to this hobby, or you're considering getting into the hobby, and you're looking at different things. You're looking at the ready to runs versus the kits, and you decide, hey, I want to try a kit. Well, if you've never built one before, something like this here, which is my sand scorcher that I'm in the process of putting together, may not be the best option for you, because there are a lot of really, some may think complicated. There's a lot of technical stuff in here. The front ends on these cars are set up just like an old Volkswagen Beetle. I mean, this thing is a really nice piece if you've got a little bit of experience and the patience to do it. These things don't go together that fast. It takes a little bit of time, and a lot of people get frustrated and put it to the side. But if you really consider getting into this thing and you want something that's just incredibly easy to build, won't cost you an arm and a leg to do so, then I'd say the Grasshopper. That's the simplest kit out there to build. You cannot beat the price point. This one here was $110, if that. And it's got everything essentially that you need right in the box. The only thing you're going to need outside of what's in this box is obviously going to be a battery and a radio system. This kit comes with the ESC and everything to make it just a great entry RC kit. These kits are not hard to build. Let's open it up and take a look at what's going on. All you need are simple hand tools, a Phillips head screwdriver, maybe a small pair of pliers, depending on what you've got, small set of needle nose pliers, or even a pair of tweezers can help you. But this is it. This is all that's inside of it. The body is sitting on the chassis already. Obviously, you got to take it out and add parts to the chassis. But here are what I call the hard parts, as far as building this thing. All your gears for the transmission and things of that nature. There's hardly nothing in there. So you're talking about something. Let's get this big old bumper out of the way. This is it. There's all your transmission gears. There's a couple, there's another, I think it's an idler gear for it. Screws for the wheels. You do build the wheels and the tires and all. And the motor. And if you'll follow the directions on these things, these Tamiya kits, the directions are just incredible, highly detailed, and just foolproof. If you'll follow them to a T and take your time, you'll have a really nice kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to film putting this car together, but I am going to time it. And whenever I get this thing together, I'll tell you how long it took. It's not going to take very long at all for a person like myself that builds them all the time. But for an average individual, I would say that you could probably build this car in less than 2 hours and have it ready to go and get out and blast. Okay, so I'm done with the car, but let me explain a couple of things. When I built this thing, I have not done two things. I have not put the electronics in it as far as the ESC goes, and I have not put a steering servo in it right now because I'm not sure which way I'm going to go. I'm contemplating doing this thing as a complete budget entry-level type introduction to RC for those that may be looking to get into it. Or I may sway and upgrade the motor, upgrade the servo. I'm not sure right now. So what you're going to see is the car. The car is absolutely built, but it does not have the steering system as far as the servo or the steering arms put on it at this moment. But other than that, this whole car is put together. The only drawback that I see right now is that it is tried and true to what they released back in, I guess it was 80, 79 or 80 when this car came out. I'm not exactly sure. It does have a 380 size motor. I mean, it's got a small motor in it, so it's not going to be blistering fast or as fast as, say, a car with like a 540 silver can in it. But it's a great entry-level car, so let's take a look. All right, so there it is. I only used a Phillips head screwdriver, a pair of needle nose pliers, a small pair, for those screws on the wheels. There's nuts on the back side of them, so you kind of need them to drop them in the slots. There, it's a keyed slot to hold that nut, but it's just trying to get it in there. And I've got big fingers, and so it doesn't add up, doesn't help. So I just use a small pair of needle nose, and again, a flathead screwdriver, and that's about it, really. But simple car to build. I do not have the body detail. There's two lights that mount here on these points. It is molded in white. It has not been painted. And this body is attached with screws. So you pick the entire car up. You can see down in there where the body's attached with screws there and up here in the front. So you flip it over, and there is a tray that opens up. See the arrow there? You pull that up and slide it backwards. Battery fits in there, and there is that absolutely ridiculously small 380 motor. But it does have a slot for the 540 to be able to run a 540 in it. Simple car to build. It does have an open differential, as you can see. All the gears on the inside are plastic. Now, usually when I build my kits, I opt and put bearings in it. I did not do that on this one here just to keep the cost down. As you can see, there are just bushings. There's no bearings. And even in the transmission, there is just one brass bushing in the transmission on one of the idler gear shafts. And that's it. The rest of it's all plastic, kit supplied stuff. And just over 100, I think it was 109 after tax, was close to 115. Not bad. Somewhere in there, it's like 115 bucks. And it took me 55 minutes to build it. 55 minutes tops. And that was hardest part is getting these, to me, hardest part is getting the wheels together because they are 3-piece. It's like a bead lock. And to force the centers inside of these wheels is a little tough. The fronts are not so bad, but the rears can be a little bit hairy to get inside. And once you do that, the inner and the outer pieces fit in. You line them up. You put the 5 screws in it, and she's ready to rock and roll. Independent front end, very, very primitive, very basic. And the same thing with the rears, you can see. But it will work independently. Not much, not a whole lot of travel with those, but a good basic hobby grade RC vehicle to get somebody started. I would suggest, if you're looking to get into the hobby and you want a decent vehicle and you want to get your hands dirty and learn how these things operate, this is the kit to go get. That Tamiya Grasshopper. That is, I have wanted this thing for a long time. I had one years and years ago when I was a teenager, and I had been on the fence about buying another one, and I just figured, why not? I'm kind of in the collector's realm now, and you can't have a good collection without this in there. This is like a staple in the Tamiya line. So I hope you find this helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Still working on getting the editing software and the computer set up in his permanent home. So look for, better content to come. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us over there on Instagram. I'll drop a link down below. Please keep in mind my Instagram is my personal Instagram, so there's a little bit of everything from this to, daily life and so forth and so on. Until next time, my friends, y'all take good care, be a decent human, and we'll catch you on the next one.